just real quick as you guys are coming in. As the veterans are going to march into the ceremony this morning, we're going to ask you guys to stand and show silent respect for the veterans as they march in. At the end of the ceremony, we're going to have you guys remain in your seats until we march the veterans out, and I think it'd be a good thing to stand and clap them out when we're leaving. So if we could plan on having a quiet standing welcome when they come in, and we'll clap them out when they're leaving at the end of the ceremony, that would be amazing. Thank you. long, but it's like, it's so long, it's like, what?
Yeah, I get her. I think her. I think her.
Thank you for airing this.
Captain
Dion.
All right, we're going to go that's outside, so if everyone just 5 or 6, relax for a few minutes. We'll get you on to the standing once everyone's lined up. Good morning. Could everyone please stand for the entrance of our veterans? Please remain standing while Mr. Urbanski joins us on the stage for our opening prayer.
On this morning, on this day, the words that come to my mind go back to a German theologian, philosopher, and mystic that I studied when I was in the seminary by the name of Meister Eckhart, Meister German for master. And he shared this: if there is only one prayer that you ever say in your life, this prayer will suffice. This prayer will be enough. And that prayer is thank you. Loving God, thank you for gathering us this morning here to celebrate those that are present in the armed forces that have served, those that are no longer with us. Thank you for this day of recognition, of honor, for we celebrate, we remember, and we never will forget what you have done for us in serving the armed forces. Lord God, you modeled for us through your Son, Lord Jesus, by dying for all of us. And you made that ultimate sacrifice for the salvation of humanity. Just like these men and women and all those that have gone before and continue to serve this day and will continue to serve, they take on that sacrifice. And for that, we say thank you. Loving God, thank you for bestowing your blessing upon those present, our veterans. Help us always remember their sacrifice, their service to country, to their duty, and to one another. We stand and we walk on the shoulders of giants, and the giants that you have bestowed upon us in this earth, to know what it means to be men and women of honor. Thank you, Lord, for blessing all of us this day, and help us never forget the sacrifice that every man and woman that serves in the armed forces does for all of us. And all we could humbly say with all of our hearts and with all of our souls is thank you. And we ask your blessing upon this day and all of us now and forever as we sign ourselves in the name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning. My name is Robert Link, and I'm the faculty here at East Catholic High School. I want to thank you for joining us today as we come together to honor and celebrate the men and women who have served in the United States Armed Forces. Today, on Veterans Day, we pause to recognize the courage, sacrifice, and dedication of those who have worn our nation's uniform. To our veterans with us here today, whether you served in times of peace or times of war, at home or overseas, thank you for your service. I know that hearing that as a veteran is sometimes uncomfortable. You're not sure how to respond. You're not sure you deserve thanks. After all, you were just doing your job. Our goal today here at East Catholic is to show you that you do deserve thanks. You do deserve recognition, and you do deserve our respect. Your service has protected the freedoms and opportunities we enjoy every single day. You've shown us what it means to put something greater than yourself first. Duty, honor, country. Our students may not always fully understand the challenges that come with military service, but they can strive to carry forward the values veterans embody: commitment, integrity, accountability, and resilience. Let today be a reminder that freedom is not free, and that we each have a role to play in honoring and preserving the ideals our veterans have fought to defend. We also extend our gratitude to the families of our veterans, those who supported them through long separations, constant uncertainty, and the many sacrifices that come with service. So as we begin today's program, let's take this moment to reflect, to thank, and to remember. May our words and actions today and every day show our deep appreciation for all who have served and continue to serve this great nation. Thank you for your service. Thank you for our freedoms. Thank you to your families for sacrificing so much so that you could just do your job. Thank you, and welcome to East Catholic High School.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I invite Mr. Link, Senior Military History class, to read the poem, I Am a Veteran.
Hello everybody, today we're reading I Am a Veteran by Andrea Christensen. You may not know me the first time you meet, I'm just another you see in the street. But I am the reason you walk and breathe free, I am the reason for your liberty, I am a veteran.
I work in the factory all day. I own a restaurant just down the way. I sell your insurance, I start your IV. I've got the best looking grandkids you'll ever see. I'm your grocer, your banker, your child's school teacher. I'm your plumber, your barber, your family's preacher. But there's part of me you don't know very well. Just listen a moment, I have a story to tell. I am a veteran.
I joined the service while still in my teens. I traded my prom dress for camouflage grenades. I'm not the first in my family to do something like this. I followed my father like he followed his. Defying my fears and hiding my doubt, I married my sweetheart before I shipped out. I missed Christmas, then Easter, and the birth of my son, but I knew I was doing what had to be done.
I served on the battlefront, I served on the base, I bound up the wound and begged for God's grace. I gave orders to fire, I followed commands, I marched into conflict and fought its demands. In the jungle, the desert, on mountains and shores, in bunkers and tents, on dark earthen floors. While I fought on the ground and the air on the sea, my family and friends were home praying for me.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave, I faced my demons in foxholes and caves. In one dreaded day without drum or fife, I lost an arm, my buddy lost his life. I came home and moved on, but forever was changed, and the perils of war in my memory remained. I don't really say much, I don't feel like I can, but I left home a child and came back as a man.
There are thousands like me, thousands more who are gone, but the legacy lives, that time marches on. By crosses and rows and names to carve and keep, remind us of what these brief souls meant to do. I'm a part of a fellowship, a mighty strong band, of each man and each woman blessed of this great land. And when old glory waves, I stand proud, I stand tall, I hope keeping her flying over you overall. I am a veteran.
And now, for those who can, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Delaney Poach, who will come up here to tell you a little bit about what we've done today so far.
Students and 6 different stations all over the building and also at East Cemetery. The first group to warm off campus to East Cemetery put pennies on graves and say a small prayer. The second group helped prepare and serve the pancake breakfast. The third group watched the video and service animals together. The fourth group made goodie bags for Catholic veterans and put a meal in each bag. The fifth group made videos to show support and thanks for veterans. And the sixth group listened and asked questions to the panel of veterans. These groups rotated around to participate in each on-campus activity. Next, we have Mr. Lynch to present the video.
I'm going to introduce the video now, but my write-up on what I'm supposed to say is missing. So, basically, you're going to hear from the great niece of one of our older principals, and he's going to tell you a little story that most of us didn't know about Reverend Robert Saunders. We've all heard his name when we rededicated our gym. The gym was named after him because he was an incredible administrator here. Before that, he was the superintendent of schools in the Farmington school system. But before that, what a lot of people don't know is he served incredibly honorably in World War II, and where one of his jobs was the head of a POW camp in the Philippines in Southeast Asia. So his nephew came in the other day and did a short video to tell you a little story about one of the great administrators of the school and what he did as his time as a soldier in the United States Army.
I'm here today with Bill Darish. He's here to tell us a special story about someone connected to our school. And as we get ready to celebrate Veterans Day next week, I first wanted you to introduce yourself and kind of what your connection is to veterans.
Yeah, thanks, Deshay. My name is Bill Darish. I work for a company which is a defense contractor. We do the command military, we do the Tri-Care Health Plan, which serves active duty servicemen, service members, dependents, retirees, and their dependents. And during that, there was an event where we were asked to tell stories about our own connection to service, and I told a story about someone connected to this school.
So Reverend Robert Saunders was our principal here from 1970 to 1981, but he's affectionately known to you as Uncle Bob.
Correct.
So he has his own special connection to, he himself is a veteran.
Yes.
Actually, he himself was a veteran, but he has a special story that you have obtained from your grandmother's journals.
Correct, yes. So we have, my grandmother kept a journal with about family members' lives, her own life, and he has a really unique story, which I can read some of it right now.
Yeah, we would love if you should have.
So Uncle Bob, he was in the education system, but he actually left to join the military right before Pearl Harbor. So I'm going to read now from my grandmother's journal. He was on his way to Pearl Harbor when the Japanese struck. He's then went on to serve in the, what you call the Pacific Theater, the Philippines to be exact. He was recommended for officers training school. He went back to Fort Benning, went to Texas, then went back to the Philippines and became the head of a prisoner of war camp in the South Pacific in the Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah. And what really, what to me was very powerful about this, I was reading a journal my family was handed down, was that, so he was the head of a prisoner of war camp, and I remember reading that from the journal. He gave the enemy prisoners fair treatment. We saw a letter in his possession from a Japanese general thanking Bob for his humane treatment of him and his troops. He didn't talk a lot about his years as the head of the camp, but we did hear some stories about him going into the jungle, hunting down escaped prisoners. He must have seen a lot, and, but he was, tough guy, brave guy to do that, but also, very humane. And I'll continue from the journal. He mostly had Japanese prisoners, and he wanted them to be kept busy, so he allowed them to paint. They used cop canvas for their paint canvas, and he scrounged up paints where he could, and he brought back paintings. One of them happened to be of his nephew. He was in bathing trunks, so the artist clothed him in a Japanese sailor uniform, and actually I brought that in. So this is from, this painting was 80 years old. It was painted by a Japanese prisoner of war. That's my uncle's nephew. This is Uncle Bob is my great uncle. So this is my uncle. You can see that's a Japanese sailor suit. And you can see that closer, you can see that's the canvas of the front top. So to me, it says a lot about who he was, just, the Japanese general gave him that letter about thanking him for his humane, compassionate treatment of all prisoners. And that's the kind of person Bob was. He was a compassionate person who cared about people.
I was saying it's not often that we hear about the compassionate side of war, right? A lot of the stories are dark. And so to hear that his impact was so meaningful to so many while he was there and while he was in a spot that's obviously not a positive place to be.
Right. Exactly, yeah. To me, very, very powerful story, and felt the need to be shared. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you think about his life, was he already ministering in other capacities? Because then he went on to have another career, so obviously out of getting out of the service, he was not Reverend Robert Saunders while he was there, correct?
Correct.
So then when he came home, he then entered the priesthood?
Right, correct. That's right, yeah. He, I think as my grandmother wrote in general, she thinks the war, may have impacted him and then maybe just allowed him to see things that maybe changed his path in life.
And so he went on to become ordained.
Yes.
And then fell kind of back into education, which is where he had started prior to enlisting, correct?
Correct.
And then we lucked out by having him come here into the Archdiocese of Hartford and be with our school for 11 years.
That's right, yeah. He loved the students. He really cared about the students. I know if he was here, he would share everybody the best of success. So academically, socially, he was a big sports fan, athletically. And he had that license plate, ECHS, he drove a convertible, and he had that license plate, which I think has been handed down to the generations to different leaders at East Catholic. So he was a tremendous person, and I think as people walk by the gym, they see his name, and they can learn a little bit more about him and the kind of person he was, and that's fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and as you had alluded to, he is the namesake for our gym, so the Reverend Robert Saunders, which we just rededicated last year back to him, so it still remains in his honor. So his memory lives on here, but what an impact he's made to others in his life. And so thank you so much for being here to tell the story, and as we honor our veterans next week, he's an important part of our story.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you.
So the following is an excerpt from my grandmother's journal. My grandmother was sister to Reverend Robert Saunders, and she'll refer to him as Bob in this. So reading from her journal. Briefly, I'll just say that Bob went in before we went into service, before we were officially at war, and he was on his way to Pearl Harbor when the Japanese struck. He served in the Pacific Theater, the Philippines to be exact. He was recommended for officers training school. He had to work his way back from the Philippines to pay for his boat passage. He went to Fort Benning to get his second lieutenant bars, then to Texas for a while, where he rewrote the small arms manual for the government. Then he went back to the Philippines and became the head of the prisoner of war camp at Los Banos. He was a humane commander. He gave the enemy prisoners fair treatment. We saw a letter in his possession from a Japanese general thanking Bob for his humane treatment of him and his troops. Bob said very little about his years as marshal of the camp. We did, however, hear about his going into the jungle and hunting down escaped prisoners. He must have seen a lot and fought a lot. He came back from the war changed. He came back from the war much changed, and I think it was then he got his first seed planted about answering his vocation to the priesthood. If the United States had prisoners and no place to put them, and Los Banos had the room, over they would be shipped. He had mostly Japanese prisoners, but some Italian men as well. He wanted them kept busy, so he allowed those inclined to paint. They used cop canvas for their paint canvas, and he scrounged up paints anywhere he could, and they improvised to make their own colors. Bob brought back many paintings they did for him. He asked for pictures of the kids and of Mom and Pop, Lawrence and Pat, that was his niece and nephew, Pat's my mother. They were painted from snapshots. Lawrence happened to be in bathing trunks, so the artist clothed him in a Japanese sailor's uniform. You can only see the collar, so it isn't that noticeable. Barry got his portrait done, but before anyone could get to Brian, peace was declared. Bob also brought back some intricately carved wooden boxes done by the Filipinos. They're lovely. So back from the war, promoted to major, once again he performed nobly. We gave him a big party at the Knights of Columbus Hall in Plainville, and mobs of people came to see him and welcome him back into our midst.
Good morning, everyone. As we gather here today to honor the men and women who have served our country, it is important to remember that the cost of freedom is not only borne by those who wear the uniform, but also by the families who stand behind them. It is my honor to introduce today's guest speaker, Mrs. Deb Smith, a Gold Star mother and the former president of Gold Star Mothers of Connecticut. Gold Star mothers are women who lost a son or daughter in military service to our nation. They carry a profound weight of sacrifice, yet they dedicate themselves to ensuring our heroes are never forgotten. Mrs. Smith has spent years supporting veterans, comforting families, and educating communities about the true meaning of sacrifice and remembrance. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to a remarkable woman whose strength and compassion embody the spirit of veterans. My honor, Mrs. Deb Smith.
Good morning. My name is Deb Smith, and I'm a proud mom of a veteran, PFC Anthony D'Agostino, my son, and also an American Gold Star mom. First, I'm going to speak of my son Anthony, then what it is to be a Gold Star mother, because first I was a mom. Anthony D'Agostino was born November 6, 1982, at Fort Gordon, Augusta, Georgia. Units assigned to this Army installation were 116th Military Intelligence Group, 35th Signal Brigade, and the 15th Regimental Signal Brigade. I guess his destiny, since he was born, was to serve in the Army under the 15th Signal Brigade. My belief in God is He has a path we follow through Him on earth that eventually leads us back to Him. I know my son is with Jesus. However, the path He had my son on, I am forever blessed I had him for 20 years here on earth. Anthony loved fixing, building, anything. He was given Lego sets for his birthday, Christmas, and he would sit for hours and just put it together from beginning to end. He loved playing video games on his Atari, if we all remember Atari so long ago. He was a quiet, loving, caring son. He made friends wherever he went. He attended W.F. Kaner High School, graduating with a certificate in electrical in June of 2001. Tony worked after graduation in his uncle's electrical company for a very short time. Then came September 11, 2001. The attack on the Twin Towers in New York. I believe Anthony wanted to serve our country to ensure the U.S. would never be attacked again, so he enlisted in the U.S. Army. After Tony had passed away in Fort Hood, where he was stationed, on November 11th, they held a ceremony for 2 soldiers that were killed on the helicopter, and I'll read that after. And I just wanted to read what they wrote. Sorry, I have to take these down a little bit. PFC Anthony D'Agostino, age 20, enlisted in the United States Army in his hometown of Waterbury, Connecticut. He completed basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia in June 2002, and AIT at Fort Gordon, Georgia in September 2002 as a 31R multi-channel systems operator. Upon completion of training in October of 2002, PFC Anthony D'Agostino was assigned to the 3rd Signal Brigade, 313th Signal Company of Fort Hood, Texas. in the 313 Signal Company, PFC D'Agostino, served as a tropospheric communications installer, operator, maintainer. I hope I said that right. He deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003 with the 313th Forward. PFC D'Agostino was well respected and held in high regards by his peers and leaders alike. He was affectionately referred to as DAG or Daga Daga. PFC D'Agostino always wore a smile and was there when called upon. He constantly displayed what the Army values consisted of: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. He will be remembered for serving his country proudly. He is survived by his mom, Deb, and sister, Lisa. It was a beautiful ceremony. They welcomed us as family when we were there. So what happened on November 2nd, 2003? Operation Iraqi Freedom. 2 U.S. Chinook helicopters were fired upon by 2 surface-to-air missiles. Anthony's helicopters hit and crashed near Fallujah on its way to Baghdad airport. We weren't sure if he was coming home or if he was going on leave. There was no clarification on that. 16 soldiers were killed and 20 were wounded. It was a sad day, but also November 2nd is also All Souls Day. As my Catholic faith is becoming stronger, the date of November 2nd is a day of sorrow, but also a day of joy. I know Anthony is with Jesus, and that makes me overcome with joy. I found this poem that kind of fits the situation today when I speak of my son. I thought of you today, but that's nothing new. I thought of you yesterday and days before that too. I think of you in silence. I often speak your name. All I have are memories and your picture in a frame. Your memory is a keepsake from which I'll never part. God has you in his arms. I have you in my heart. I love you, Tony. So that was my son. I was a mom first, which turned me into a Gold Star mom. So what is a Gold Star mother? On the last Sunday in September, Gold Star mothers, fathers, and siblings, and families of fallen military service members are recognized and honored, and honors them for their sacrifice for our country. Our dress attire is all white. Why? It symbolizes peace, sacrifice, goodness, and innocence, celebrating their children's lives while acknowledging their sacrifice. I was in parades in Connecticut, and people were looking at the all-white uniform and wondering why I was wearing white. That's my duty as a Gold Star mother, is to educate them why and what that means. The flag. The practice began during World War I, when families displayed a blue star for each family member serving in the armed forces during wartime. When a service member died in service, the Blue Star was replaced with a Gold Star to publicly acknowledge the sacrifice. Give those to Mr. Lee for his classroom. Gold Star mothers, fathers, siblings support the military community, including active duty service members and veterans. We provide support to the VA facilities, supporting military families, care packages to deployed service members. I served as president of the Connecticut Gold Star Mothers in Connecticut. One of my most important achievements was organizing a motorcycle poker run to increase our treasury because there was no funds to help our veterans. The amount we raised was about $5,000, which was fantastic. It was an honor to serve as president because not only are we there for our veterans, we were there for each other. It was a shoulder to cry on, a smile to share, a hug when needed, an ear to listen, and a friendship forever. I am still friends and in connection with the Connecticut Gold Star Mothers. In Florida, it's a little different. Florida is a huge state, and to get to any of the meetings or meet up with any of the Gold Star Mothers, it could take me 2, 3, 4 hours to get there. As I'm getting older, I can't do the highways anymore. So, as a Gold Star Mother in Florida, I have participated in Wreaths Across America. Through my church, Our Lady of Hope, sending signed Christmas cards to overseas service members, attending a ceremony at Missions Barbecue. And at Missions Barbecue, they have veterans, they have an honor wall of veterans. And that was in Lake Erie, Florida, that I went and attended with my granddaughter. Memorial Day ceremonies, of course. But what I can do personally, because sometimes I cannot get to meetings, every veteran that I see, I always say, thank you for your service. If I see they're wearing a Vietnam hat, I say, welcome home. They do appreciate it. So what do you say to a Gold Star mother, father, or sibling? I'm so sorry for your loss. Or your son, daughter made a great sacrifice, and I will never forget them. Or your hero will not be forgotten. In closing, I would like to thank Adrienne Andrews, head of the Veterans Day Committee. It was my honor and privilege to be here. Thank you for honoring all veterans, both living and deceased. Mr. Robert Bank, for reaching out to me to participate in honoring our veterans. It was my pleasure to fly up from Florida to be here. East Catholic High School, thank you for educating our youth about what Veterans Day symbolizes. And thank you for all the veterans that are here today. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for
At this time, the band and choir will present the service songs of our services here. We ask any veterans who serve that you hear your service song, please stand so you can be recognized by the school. The United States Army. The United States Marine Corps. The United States Navy. United States Coast Guard. The United States Air Force. The next video you're going to see is a video done by Kid 8, and it's just going to give some of you an idea of what we're all about here at East Catholic High School. So we hope you enjoy.
Students are getting ready for whatever comes next in college and beyond. It's a place where academics, athletics, and arts come together under one supportive community. I visited the campus to find out what makes this school so special.
These 4 years have gone by so fast, and I wish I could take one of those years and redo it all over again, just to experience everything that I've so far experienced.
Senior Anya Chancel is reflecting on her rewarding high school journey at East Catholic. She's committed to Brown University and is cherishing this final year before taking her next big step. She says it's the people she'll miss the most.
I think it really comes from just the community here who's here to just support you through everything, even on your tough days, as well as my team. I'm a part of the soccer team at East, and I really do believe that they do a really good job of supporting us and the student athletes as a whole. So
that sense of community is something that Lisa Putnam-Kirsch, class of 1986, knows well. She's a proud alumna, a parent of 2 graduates, and now the English department chair.
So my connection with East Catholic started when my parents moved heaven and earth to send me here in 1982. I went here and graduated in 1986. Back then, I didn't know that I would be back here as a teacher. I didn't know that I would be blessed with 2 daughters who would also go here.
Over the years, she's seen firsthand the impact East Catholic has on generations of students.
I knew early as a student that this school could be a sanctuary for certain kids who wanted to learn, who wanted to find themselves, who wanted to do it in a place that they felt seen, that they felt valued, and that they were pushed to excel.
That dedication to excellence has earned East Catholic a spot as one of Education Insider's top Catholic schools of 2025. Chief Administrator Sean Brennan, class of 1985, says the recognition reflects both academics and a wide range of student achievements.
One is certainly our athletic program gets a lot of exposure in the media, but then you look at our robotics program. They're been competing at the World Championships for the last few years. They're incredibly popular and successful. Our arts programs are receiving awards. So I think the recognition comes from our kids doing incredible things and being out there in the public eye.
This video was filmed by East Catholic's student-run broadcast club, which produces its own newscasts. A great example of students learning hands-on skills while showcasing their school spirit. And a smaller student body also means stronger connections between students and faculty.
That allows us to attend each other's games, check in on each other's families, watch each other's successes.
Anya's advice for prospective students is to experience the community firsthand.
Go to a sports game. That's really the best way to see the community and to see how everyone supports each other.
Above all, East Catholic strives to teach values that go beyond the classroom.
Because no matter what they go on to do, they need to be kind people. They need to be the kinds of people that reach out to help others. And that is something that we hold in high esteem.
To learn more about East Catholic High School, you can visit echs.com. For CT Buzz, I'm Julie Andrews.
And now, Jane Quackenbush to take you through the folding of the flag.
Hi, we're going to have some students and a veteran come up here and show you how to fold the flags and then we're going to off the meanings of each fold. first fold is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of the belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing the ranks who gave a portion of their lives for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents the weaker nature. As American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn to in times of peace as well as in times of war, for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country, for in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold represents our hearts. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that they protect our country and our flag against all her enemies, whether they be found within or without the boundaries of their republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to those who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, and that way we might see the light of day again. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood and mothers, for it has been through their faith, love, loyalty, and devotion that they have molded the character of the men and women who have served for our country. The 10th fold is a tribute to the fathers, for they too have given their sons and daughters for the defense of our country. The 11th fold represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in the Hebrews' eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The 13th fold, or when the flag is completely folded, the stars are the uppermost reminder of our nation's motto, in God we trust.
And now for the playing of our school song.
Goodbye.
behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff of East Catholic High School, thank you for your service and thank you for joining us today here at East Catholic High School. Everybody please remain standing while our veterans march out for us. Let's clap it up. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.